Welcome, everyone. It's April the 26th, 2024, and we are continuing on with the universal law of instantaneous transmission and transformation. Just press a few buttons here. There we go. Connected to the Lurion chakra, which is the 9th one, just underneath the throat here. And we've already studied the blessing and virtue of truth with Michael, Archangel Michael, Archangel Gabriel, and Archangel Uriel. And we're working with SK, with the law. So here's our mission piece with Michael. And in the mother's new time, this is us in our ascension process, learning how things work in the higher realm so we can anchor heaven on earth. Peace. It's time for peace. So this was really interesting because this was a little meme from peacenow.com, and they're saying to heal separation, become love. And I wrote, we are love. Remember, we are love. And look what I found from the mother, from the law of change. The constancy of change and the continuity within that is the gift of our eternal becoming. So that meme right here, become love, makes sense. Okay. So here's Gabriel reminding us your beloved self is love, not the lesser expressions of human experience, but your divine self. So she's asking if we wobble, like what Archangel Uriel says, just ask her to blow her trumpet right into your heart to blow away the cobwebs of doubt. And it's a good thing to remember to do if we're struggling. And this is Uriel. He says, do not underestimate when you stay in that place of centered awareness. So he's talking about your heart, actually, of knowing and of not wobbling back and forth in uncertainty. You are doing so for many. So that's us being like a lighthouse in the love, in the peace, in the joy, and remembering Archangel Raphael saying there's no difference between healing and creation. So that's the green energy and the golden. And this is a very powerful mantra. I am love. I am loved. I am lovable. Waking up saying that sets your day on a real creative healing path. We are one. That's all of us in the peace, in the joy, in the love. And this is kind of an overview of us studying truth. Michael said truth is the divine knowing, connected to the Father, what you may think of as supreme intelligence, wisdom, substance, inspiration, ideas. And love is more connected to the mother energy. Like Michael said, if you wanted to differentiate them a little bit, the expression and how that is experienced. So, but he says also know they are united as one, love and truth. They're like a double helix. So the laws are like a framework around us, helping us operate as the higher realms operate, and we can feel as if they're anchored into the bone structure. They're connected to creation and joy and still point, and the substance, that golden energy, the substance. Love is the fuel, love is the substance, love is the movement. And the joy, definition of joy, the substance of love, the matter of joy. You are the embodiment of that essence of laughter and the tinkling of gladness, the song of freedom. All of these are interwoven as one, interwoven uniquely into your tapestry and into your being. So that's love, truth, and joy. Very powerful divine qualities to anchor in. So the universal law of instantaneous transmission and transformation is our activation by conscious choice of what we choose to experience and what we choose to bring forth, the transformation of our sacred self. We are turning on, in conjunction with the mother, the perfection of our soul design, the expression of greater love, creating a ripple effect for the entire planet and far beyond. We are activating what has been present always, but not turned on. So some of these divine states and physical attributes, talents have not been turned on, and now we have the opportunity to turn them on if we'd like. Of course, it's always a choice. So there we go. Activation by conscious choice, what we choose to experience, what we choose to bring forth, the transformation of our sacred self, turning on in conjunction with the mother, the perfection of our soul design, the expression of greater love, creating a ripple effect for the entire planet. We are activating what has been present always, but not turned on. So we have to get clear about what it is that we want to turn on. So now this is a tiny review of the meditation that we went over last week. And it is SK saying, let go of the week of all things that you have to do or that you haven't done, and know and trust that you are exactly where you need to be and that you are perfect. You are absolutely perfect. So that's what we forget, because the belief systems interfere. And we learned last week all about water and how perfect water is, especially when it's blessed. It changes. When we bless the water molecules, they change and they become like mini snowflakes. It's just so beautiful. So we're made up mostly like about 60% water. So it's just you're just like this. Your soul design is like a snowflake. It's so beautiful. So beautiful. Yeah, 60% of the human adult body is water. So it's just remembering, letting go and acceptance. We are truth, we are clarity, light, and love of the Divine Mother, Father, One. So our soul design is perfection. And it's no different than our universal self. And SK gets into that as well. So just know they're all connected, and it's also connected to the golden grid. Remember Archangel Gabriel talking to us about the golden grid? It's all connected. So there's us remembering that we are love. This is the most important. So our soul design is love. Who we are is loved. Who we are is lovable. When you were birthed from the heart of the Mother, Father, One, there was no such thing as imperfection. So this design represents the perfection of your being, and it is already within you. So he's talking about our soul design that looks like a spider web, like a snowflake, like a dream catcher. You know, we can go into our heart space and feel it and see it and just know that that's who we are, and that's where the perfection is anchored. And here's us deciding if there's something that we wish to activate. So SK gives some examples. The ability to play the piano, if that's something that you like to breathe clearly, if you struggle with trauma, like usually the breath isn't very smooth if we haven't fully let go the trauma. So sometimes that's it, or if it's connected to not feeling well. How to maintain joy without anxiety. This is an extraordinary one, because I feel like we all have some kind of anxiety that's always running and we don't even realize it. So I've been working on this one. I've been activating joy without anxiety, and it's it's working. Self-worth, that's another big one. You want to really, really come into your self-worth, or the ability to be in community. All of this is contained within your DNA and your design. So that's that big central column around the spine that SK talked about, and how there's little flags on it. And so if you go in and you look at your spinal column, it's good to just really see those flags standing up, because that means that we're holding the the qualities and the that we have anchored in, and the ways of being that we've anchored in, we want those flags to stay up so we stay in the middle. And maybe they've given us this spinal, like this spinal central column, because it keeps us in the middle. Because we don't want to be wobbling back and forth, like Uriel says, because it feels like when you're wobbling back and forth, you're actually out of your body, you're not in the middle. So this spinal column with all these attributes, it's good to know it's right in the middle of your being. And if you're activating, it's good to look down, starting at the top, look down and then look up to see where those markers are located. And so SK says there could be several because it's complex. Yes, Ken, Lillian?
It's me.
Yeah.
I remember, and it's been over a year, but we did a meditation in which we went in, and when we did the meditation, we went in and we went down and we flipped all these flags down.
Oh, down?
Yeah. And I'm wondering.
Well, are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. I remember the meditation.
Okay.
Well, in the channeling, SK says we're to turn down what's not working, but in this one that we looked at last week, we were flipping them up. Yeah.
Okay.
So you might be remembering what he says, and I think we'll get to it in this class, where he does say we need to turn down things that are not working because there's no, yeah. So,
Okay.
yeah, so there is
And-
something about turning down. Yeah. But for this meditation, it's flipping up because we want to anchor in these different, whatever it is that you want to activate. We want to flip them up to activate, because like I don't play the piano. Do I really want to? No, it's not big on my list, but say I did want to, I would be flipping it up and going in and looking at it every day to make sure it was still up.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So you can, whatever comes to you that you really, really would like, if it's perfect health, if it's, I don't know, something that you've been, really desiring, that's usually what this law is for, a real deep heart's desire, because it is almost instantaneous. Like it has been for me with this maintain joy without anxiety. Like I've been working on that now, like just making sure that flag is up. And yeah, I don't feel this anxiety anymore, which was very, I don't even know how to describe it, because I knew it was running, but I didn't know it was running. It's one of those ones that's just sort of in the background. And I'm so used to it, I wasn't paying attention to it. Didn't realize it was there. And then when I read this wording, I was like, okay, because I didn't even notice this wording the last time we studied this law. So it wasn't even on my radar. So weird how this is, some words just jump out the more we look at these different teachings. And so the other thing that's important too is asking for the permission for instantaneous transmission, because sometimes there is not a permission to do this. So it's good to just invoke with Sanat Kumara, invoke not only the law, but the permission of instantaneous. And he's like the referee. He can come in and say yes or no to it. So here it is, lift up the markers. If you were putting up a signal that there's mail to be picked up, little flags, lift them up now and allow the activation to take place. And then we leave them up. And basically it's a good idea to check. And it's just a real quick check too, because you're kind of standing back to your spine and looking at it, and just to make sure that the flags are up. And it's imagination and intention, basically. This is how I would like to be. And, you know, no ifs, ands, or buts. I am activating the perfection of my soul design, and I'm very intentional about it. And then, of course, to bring your heart to still point and give thanks. And this lifting up of the flags, I feel like in Ascension, there's at various stages, you feel like you are lifted up. I don't know. Has anyone had this? Steve, have you had that sensation?
Sure, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, yes.
So I think these mailbox flags are symbolism for the lifting up, where you feel like you're floating up. So it's all about us evolving into the higher realms, and it's a golden spiral. We're going up into the higher dimensions, different levels of the dimensions, and it's about us lifting ourselves up out of the old belief systems, basically, letting them just disappear. And if you take that symbolism of the lotus too, the lotus emerges from the mud, but it needs the mud, you know? It grows from the mud. So we've been kind of in the mud for a few thousand years. Now we're lifting up and we're remembering who we truly are. Okay, so this is SK, and he says, greetings, I am Sanakamara, and yes, congratulations as you go forward in this law of instantaneous transmission and transformation, and the activation by conscious choice of what you choose to experience, of what you choose to bring forth in this journey of light and love and transformation, not only of your sacred self, because dear heart, the ripple effect, the domino effect is for the entire planet and far beyond. So as we lift ourselves up, remembering our perfection and acting from that place of perfection, it actually goes everywhere. It goes into the collective, because we're energy, and energy is always running through us and around us. Each of you, regardless of how realized, aware, and awake you are, has desires with regards to the expansion of your sacred self. And there is an entire list: the recognition of your interdimensional self, the activation of your ascension flag. So there's one. If you want to activate your ascension flag, that's a good one. The activation of perfect health, the activation of balance in all realms, mental and emotional, spiritual, physical. All of these, my beloved ones, are at your fingertips. So fingertips also have the violet flame in them. So there's violet flame there. There's silver flame in the palm of your hands. But yeah, so that's why I just fingertips, it's often connected to the purple energy of Saint Germain, the violet flame. So there it is. And then, so this is like a list. He's given us a list. And you can add the I am to it. I am the recognition of my interdimensional self. I am the activation of my ascension flag. I am the activation of perfect health. I am the activation of balance in all realms, mental and emotional, spiritual, physical. All of these are at our fingertips. So the Mother and the Law of Change gave us a list too, for relationship, financial security, adventure, meaningful work. And then the Buddha gave us a list in the Law of Attachment and Detachment: perfect relationship, financial abundance, perfect health, happy family, fully embodying my mission and purpose. So all of this is contained in your soul design. And then the law of unification, unity, lustrous health, lustrous relationship, lustrous planet. So it all starts, look at how the relationship piece is right at the top of these lists. And that's really the relationship inside of yourself with your masculine and your feminine, is what I've come to realize it is. It's the within work that's so important. And now we've got another list from instantaneous transmission and transformation. So recognition of my interdimensional self, ascension flag, perfect health, and then balance in all realms. So pretty nice lists if you need lists for ascension. There it is in a nutshell. One slide. Okay, and there's the dimensions. So remember what St. Francis told us. They're like a clock and they're spiraling all around us. And one of the most important things he said was should be in gratitude. So, and the dimensions are all equal. There's not one that's better than another. They've each got 12 classrooms. So we're going in and out of these dimensions without even realizing it. And it's teachings. There's teachings within the dimensions for our soul evolvement. Okay, so this is Archangel Gabriel reminding us that the comfort that each and every one of you seek, the solace is to know. Some of you say, oh, it is to know that I'm on track. It is to know I'm holding the peace, the love, or the joy, but it is also holding the love, because within that knowing, even when war is raging outside your door, you know that you are loved, and that you are lovable. It is the bedrock of who you are. So, even when the world is chaotic, us knowing this helps with everything. So that energy goes out into the collective. I am love, I am loved, I am lovable. There it is right there. So important. Okay. So Eske says, I come this day, not particularly to teach, perhaps to guide, but particularly to simply say, you are ready. You have been ready for some time, but we revisit this and bring it to your cognizant attention right now, because you know you are ready. You do not question any longer your capacity and ability to create, and to create in accordance with divine plan and with universal law. We would not be having this conversation, because that is what it is. If you were not ready to fully engage, to be confident enough in your own discernment that you're ready and capable of doing this in tandem with all of us. There are many activations that are being sent and given and gifted to you, particularly directly from the heart of the mother at this time. So she's sending us energy from source, and that is creating a smoothness. So just know that energy, the mother, divine mother energy, is helping us have trust, be calm, peaceful, have faith, be in our serenity. An expansion that allows even greater facilitation with these activations that you are selecting and that you are bringing forth. Sweet angel, if you have asked for long red hair and you currently have short black hair and it is not for your highest good, I will not permit it. I will act as the referee here. But what I suggest to you, and what I see in each and every one of you, is that your desires for activation are far more sophisticated, complex, and of love. So very little has to do with hair or height, but they do have to do with well-being and perfect health and serenity. And these, dear heart, are not only part of your soul design, but your birthright and part of the collective DNA as well. So there's another mini list: well-being, perfect health, serenity. So serenity is very much connected to peace, feeling peaceful too, peace for the planet. Well-being, perfect health, serenity. Part of our soul design, our birthright, and part of the collective DNA. Interesting. That would create that would create a planet much more in balance if we all remembered that, eh? That's amazing. Okay. Yes, Darren.
I find it interesting that serenity is in our DNA.
Yes, it is. Very interesting. Nice to know. So that you can just relax into serenity now.
Well,
Yeah, just relax into it. Just know that's who we are. No, that's who every being on the planet is. Serenity. Okay. I like that. Many of you, as you have come forward and chosen to be part of the old third and have allowed certain disabilities of one sort or another And you have done so to assist in the breaking of those false paradigms and illusions, those false grids. So we knew exactly what we were dropping into. We wanted it to be difficult, because how else do you break the pattern unless you experience it? So it's there's method to the madness. So part of what you're doing right now with me this day and from here on in is declaring that those false grids no longer exist. You can see I've made them very light colored. They've already disappeared. And as you are beings of the 5th, 6th, and 7th reality, you are free to reactivate the perfection of who you are. And in so doing, what you're also declaring is that those rules, those restrictions, those shackles of the old third no longer exist. Yoo-hoo! You are declaring your freedom as a creator in a very personal and individual way, and it is important to your participation in this, and the application of this law is key. And there we go. This is what it is our activation by conscious choice of what we choose to experience and what we choose to bring forth, the transformation of our sacred self. We are turning on, in conjunction with the mother, the perfection of our soul design, the expression of greater love, creating a ripple effect for the planet, the entire planet, and far beyond. We are activating what has been present always, but not turned on. So there are activations collective that have taken place and will continue to take place, but primarily in this situation, particularly a shift in ascension, you are learning and you are using this particular law. It is not like the law of transmutation, where you are peeling away, scrubbing, cleaning up, finding the treasure that is buried underneath the debris. In this law, what you are doing is you are activating what has been present always, but not turned on. So that's interesting that he says. So transmutation, it's scrubbing and cleaning up and finding the treasure. And this one is activating what has been present, but always, but not turned on. In this law, what you are doing is you are activating what has been present always, but not turned on. So you are throwing the switch. And not only are you capable of doing this, you are encouraged, invited to do this, not only by me, dear hearts, but by the Divine Mother herself. And she wishes to see you in the fullness of your design. Now, as you begin this undertaking, we are not suggesting to you that you turn on everything at once. First, because we want you to experience and understand the law, but also we do not wish for you to overload your circuits. So one at a time, one a day, one a week. But what you will find with each activation, there is a triggering of other activations. So it's simultaneous as well. So as you work with one, it just automatically activates others. So I think it's just a matter of having the intention to start it and be quite consistent and go in and check every once in a while, make sure the flags are up, and then it just grows and grows and grows. So one at a time, one a day, one a week. But what you will find with each activation, there is a triggering of other activations. So it is simultaneous as well. So it's sort of like the domino effect. It just keeps growing, building. So although you may feel that you are turning on one switch, one aspect, so aspects are usually they use the word aspect to other lifetimes that we've had. So that's another thing that's been happening. As we go through this ascension process, our past lives are integrating into us. And so the past lives also are connected to our universal self. So as we integrate more and more and more of who we truly are, that universal self anchors closer. So it's all like all this work is like just parts of the whole, what we're doing. And it's just us stepping up into our creator self and knowing that we're healing ourselves basically. So you will see that there is also a domino effect, and you will begin to feel better, look better, create more clearly, have greater clarity in your mental body, which has already been expanded. So it helps with everything. So what are you truly turning on in conjunction with the Mother's latest blessing? You are turning on not only the capacity that you have come with, you are acting in an expression of greater love for your sacred self. All of this is one. So when we work with Archangel Michael and the blue infinite flame, we're working with infinite potential. What is the expression of my infinite potential today? So it's no wonder that Archangel Michael explained how to work with his blue flame, and now we're working with the law of instantaneous transmission and transformation. So it's like one and the same, acting in an expression of greater love for your sacred self. All of this is one. Yes, there's Michael. What is the expression of my infinite potential today? And here you are acting in an expression of greater love. So that is what our ascension is really about. I am love, I am loved, I am lovable. Yes, your beloved self is love. It's all the same message. It's all the same. And then and this is so interesting what SK says at the very end here. He says, these events, these laws, they are individuated simply for purposes of explanation so that you gain the understanding. But it is the unified grid, my friends, just as your design is the unified grid. So it's all of one, and it's all about love. Greater love. We're just activating greater love. So this law basically is, it's just turning on. What you're doing is you're activating what has been present always, but not turned on. So when you invoke this law and you're very clear on what it is that you want to turn on, then it can instantaneously turn on. Because that's who we are. We are that perfection of our soul design. Yeah. Okay. So I think this is the end. It's just remembering that our bodies are made up of mostly water, and water is perfection. It's clarity. It's of the Divine Mother. And then there's Uriel saying, stay in the middle, stay in the middle, stay in the middle. And this is the 9th dimension. All this information is connected to the 9th dimension, the completion of cycles, of our cycles, the cycles of Gaia and humanity, the kingdoms of the evolution, the expansion of the shift from what we thought of as mental consciousness to heart consciousness. So in the heart consciousness, it's just us understanding that greater love. So connected to remembering, knowing the perfection of our soul design, and that we are creator beings and we can turn on what hasn't been activated. So I think that's everything that I did. Any questions about any of this? Yeah, Darren.
Yes, you talk about us being creator beings, but then if we just have to turn on a switch to turn it on, it must have been created already. So how does that work exactly?
Well, we've come with it, but it hasn't been activated. So before we come here, we can say, we want to go through a certain amount of not having the the whole picture. Like we come and we turn things off before we come here, so that we really anchor in the knowing of what doesn't work, basically. But now we're at the stage where you can activate your full potential, basically, your full design.
So you're saying that that activation is a process of creation?
Well, you're healing yourself. I mean, it's a healing. There's no difference between healing and creation. It's a healing to be in your full self.
Yeah, no.
And it takes a lot of intention to go into your heart and look at that that column around your spine and lift those flags up and be really clear about what you want. Like that's very creative. It takes a certain amount of intention to think, okay, I would really like to be in my joy without anxiety, and really anchor that in and go into your heart and look at that spinal column and lift that flag. And then give thanks, give really deep thanks for that, and then come out of it and know that that's what you've created. Like, you've got to really believe that that's what you've just created, because it does magically happen, but you've got to really believe. Because if you do it kind of half-heartedly, it's not really going to work.
Right.
So that is an act of creation. Huge intention and creation. This is what I'd really like. And usually you really want it because you're tired of suffering. You're just tired. Enough. It's like Archangel Michael. He did a whole meditation where he said enough, and it was all about peace. Do you remember that, Steve? Yeah, that was a big meditation for peace. He just said enough. And so it's us saying enough. I want to be who I truly am. That's pretty creative. Yes, Ken.
Okay, so what's the difference between turning the flags up and talking about activation?
Same thing. It's
Same
the
thing. So the turning, okay,
Yeah, that's the activation. Lifting the flag is the activation, but you really gotta believe it. Because you can go in there and sort of do, okay, well, this is what they say is going to work. But yeah, it takes a real intention and desire. You're just tired. I'm just tired of this anxiety. Like, that's when I saw joy without anxiety, where you're in a state of joy 24/7. Oh my gosh. Yes, I want that. I'm tired of this low level anxiety just running in the background. And the reason I'm really tired of it is because they run energy through me. And I can feel when I'm in a higher state, the energy just whoosh, it just runs. But if I'm in that low level, it's like an old motorboat running in the background. It's like, it doesn't feel that good. So to be in that state where I'm just blessing everybody and everything and have, just bopping through life. I got all the bookings today. I was like, yeah, this is how I want my life to run. Yeah.
Okay, I have a question.
Yes.
Okay, I understand that we are to ask Sanat Kumara for permission,
Yes.
right?
Mhm.
He is not going to give us permission if we are not ready
Mhm.
to do this.
That's right. Yep.
So if I ask for something
Mhm.
and I am not fully committed
Yes, that's it.
to do this,
Mhm.
then he is not going to give me permission to do this. Is
Right.
that correct?
Yes. And you could even override him and just say, well, I'm just going to do it. Like, you don't hear him properly or whatever, but it won't really work.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So, it takes intention and clarity, knowing exactly what you want. Yeah. And then, of course, just, I keep practicing too. You know, even if you go in and you lift it up and it semi works, at least you've done it and you're practicing it. Do you see what I'm saying? Because I've
Yeah.
done it in the past, but not with complete knowing of what I was doing. And, you know, I would feel a little bit better, but it didn't really anchor in. Now I'm really seeing to anchor it in, that real deep desire. This is what I want. I'm tired.
So I haven't changed my beliefs enough
Mhm.
to get what I really want.
Mhm. Mhm.
So I really have to be committed to this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think joy comes in there as well. Something you really want, you know, something that would give you great joy, I think would help a lot too.
Yeah. I mean, the things that he had on his list, where's that list? Where's the list? Serenity. Oh, where's the list?
Well, you went by a list there.
Yeah, there's this one, the recognition of your interdimensional self, your ascension flag, but then there was another one before that in this here. So this is one of the lists in the meditation. Play the piano. Well, if somebody really, really wants to play the piano, you know, it's just been something that, you know, that they would really love to do, then they, you know, and the idea isn't for it to instantaneously be able to play the piano, but take the steps.
There has to be a commitment there.
Yeah.
There has to be, you practice.
Yeah.
There has to be a real commitment.
Yeah, I agree. And I mean, it'll smooth the way so that it'll be easier to play the piano, because maybe you played the piano really well in another lifetime. And so that's where the aspect thing comes in. You're just asking for that aspect, that, you know, that talented lifetime that you had to anchor closer. Does that make sense? Because that's what's happening. The past lives are coming and anchoring closer and closer so that we can remember, oh, you know, I played the piano really well in that lifetime. I can do it again. That aspect comes in to help. So maintain joy without anxiety. I'm sure I've had a lifetime where I've been really joyful. They haven't all been doom and gloom. So I just need to tap into that too. Remember, because they're always telling us, remember who you are. Well, who are we? Hundreds of lifetimes that excelled at different things. So we're calling on those lifetimes to remember. Yeah. So and I'm sure there's lifetimes where we lived really well in community, tribal, you know. So that ability to be in community, that's not too far off if we call on your other lifetimes aspects. Yeah, because he mentions that. He said aspects. I'm like, aspects, those are other lifetimes. Where does he say that? Activating. Where did he say aspects? There, right there. One switch, one aspect. Those are past lifetimes. You're turning on a past life. Because that's exactly what's happening. They're coming in. That's what ascension is all about. All the lifetimes coming together. And under the umbrella of the universal self, basically. And that's why the universal self anchors closer. Because it's just us remembering hundreds of lifetimes. Yeah, so it's a very, very exciting time to be alive, and it's fun to experiment with this, to go in really still and look at that spinal column, even just go in and take a look at it. And in the next, on Wednesday, somebody asks him about that. So it's actually in the transcript. It expands on the meditation. Yeah, but it's good just to be in the stillness in the heart and practice, and flip up a few flags and just see how you're feeling. It is pretty fun to do. I mean, there's no harm. You're just being very creative. Yeah. Okay. So let's see, what are we at? Oh yeah, it's 10 to 8. Perfect time. So what shall we send out? Shall we send out, oh, I know. Let's send out that list. Where's that list? Because that's a good list. Oh, this is a good one too. Why don't we send this out? It's nice and simple. Because it's in our collective DNA. Well-being, perfect health, serenity. I mean, that's what we all want. That would create peace on earth. Should we do that?
Yes, I
Yeah,
like
that's
that.
good. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, 10 minutes. Good. And is there anyone that let's send some of this to Mickey and Sadie, and
Yeah, please.
yeah, and anyone else that we want to focus on? Let's do Mickey and Sadie. Okay. So we'll see everyone in 10 minutes. Okay. Oh, it was 10 minutes. It went so fast. Okay. Wow. Did you have a good one there, Steve?
Yeah, I turned up my flags for serenity, balance, peace, and joy.
Yeah, yeah.
Felt the difference right away.
Excellent.
Yeah, no, very serene meditation. Yeah, thank you.
Very good. Good, good. Darren, are you sending to Mickey or were you pulling up flags?
I was sending energy to Mickey, and I actually put the whole list in there in the healing chamber as well. So I did Mickey the whole list, and then I sent it out to Planet. So I sent, health, well-being, and serenity to everyone.
Nice. Beautiful. Beautiful. And Ken and Lillian, did you enjoy that one?
Yeah, I was sending to Mickey
Mm-hmm.
and Sadie.
Mm-hmm. Good. Beautiful. Okay. Well, we're just gonna go in the next one, we'll just go in deeper. There's lots more to this law. And yeah, there's some good questions that get call in. I think this is the first time that I call in too. It only took me 9 laws before I got up enough confidence to call in.
And then you never stopped.
Yes, so
History records.
yeah, that's all good.
Look at you now.
Yes, there's no stopping me now.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Sanat Kumar's granddaughter.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, yes. But wasn't that just like a loving term? Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Adopted granddaughter.
I think he was the guy that gave me the $7 and walked me out on Wednesday night. Yeah. 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 Because it was, you can tell when there's being in behind the scenes because the way they look at you. Mhm.
Ah,
Yeah.
mhm.
Yeah. And he was there right at the very beginning. Like just was like, couldn't wait to come in the room. Oh, and you know what they did also? They fed me. They fed me. Yeah. Like they brought food
Oh,
from the
nice.
kitchen. Yeah. Hmm.
Very good.
Yeah. But they might have done that because I took a big bag of clothes too, because Jojo gave me a bunch of clothes and I was like, it's okay if I donate these. And she was like, yes. So
Yeah.
I think that maybe the food came because of that. Yeah. But yeah, no.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, it's all good. So we'll be back on Monday to do our meditation.
Okay.
Yeah. But good class. Thanks for coming, everybody.
Yes, thank you.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. See y'all Monday.
Okay.
Okay, we'll see you then. Have a great weekend.
Thank you guys too.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.